Hey guys, Kevin here to bring you a new video today. For today's edition of Horror October, I am going to be talking about yet another film that I watched. This film is called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Um, it actually there actually is a remake of it, or another movie called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. But this one was from 1973. Um, and it was good. Um, I had like a few issues with it, specifically the ending, like, um, because I'll just say this right now, the ending to this movie is bad. Like, it doesn't end well, and like, kind of impacted the movie. I mean, not a whole lot because the movie was still really great as a whole, but just like when you really like look at it, like a lot of horror movies don't end well, especially the older ones. Like you'd think like, oh, it's the horror genre. Like those movies always work out. The good guys always make it out. No, that's not true. Especially in like the 70s and 60s and 50s. That era. I think I mentioned that in another video, but that era was pretty common for not having good endings, I guess. But yeah, this movie was pretty good though. I'll just say. I mean, like, sorry, I'm just getting like kind of worn out from watching so many movies. Uh, it's starting to take a toll on me to the point where it can be kind of hard to like enjoy movies that are even really good. No, but like I really did enjoy this movie. It's just it can get challenging sometimes during these final moments of Horror October. Um, it was pretty good though. Basically, this family moves in, or husband and wife move in to this house to try to live there, and they have like a fireplace that they wanted to see like what it looked like inside. I guess I don't know. Like this woman was like so curious about it, and she really wanted to open it, and like it had like these creatures that were lurking inside of it, and like um there was like a there was like a carpenter guy who like warned her not to open it, who said like that it would be bad if they opened it, and she didn't want to listen, you know. Like a lot of horror movies, the character is determined to do something even though it's might not seem that smart. um and like eventually she finally gets the thing open. um she finally opens the fireplace, which honestly just felt like kind of like a plot point just to unleash these demons. Like it wasn't like she was really that interested in the fireplace. It was almost just like she was just a stupid curious character who just wanted to see what was inside the fireplace. And then like she didn't even really like do anything to it after she opened it. She just like looked inside, like, okay, cool. But yeah, she unleashes these demon things that end up haunting her and her house. Specifically her more because since she was the one who unleashed them, they wanted to kill her. Um, and yeah, these things were freaking creepy. Like they're like really small and they have like heads like shaped like fucking squash. But with that being said, they're pretty goddamn creepy. Just like their faces. Compared to something like Pumpkinhead, where just like some random giant demon with like a weird deformed body and face. This was actually like genuinely creepy, especially for a movie made in like 1973. Like, like for its time, like this movie like did good at being scary. Like I feel like in the 70s and like late 60s, we were starting to like usher in like the real era, a new era of like scary movies, like where movies were actually like trying really hard to be scary. Um, I mean, not that like 60s and 50s and 40s horror movies can't be good, but they're just not scary like they are in this time period. It's just a different way of being scary, I guess. Um, but yeah, this one. is like scary, like to me, even like for its time especially. Like it's not extremely scary, but like I imagine for its time, like people must have been freaked out by this movie because these creatures are so fucking creepy, and they like haunt this woman and keep stalking her, and like they whisper these things that say like, "Sally, come with us. Join us, Sally. We want to be with you." And like all these things, like, and they all they want to do is just like capture her, I guess. And they just keep like stalking her and creeping on her. It's freaking creepy. And like the score to it is pretty creepy too. Like it actually has a pretty creepy score too that kind of amps up the scariness to it. And yeah, it's like genuinely scary. And like it was pretty good with that. And like you have like this guy, his her husband, who was like playing like the real like skeptic card. Like he didn't want to believe in any of this stuff. That's like the one thing in this movie that, other than the ending, that really like brought the rating down for me was like this guy like refuses to believe like that she's like seeing this stuff. He keeps saying like, "Oh, it's all an illusion. It's all your imagination. You're going crazy." Blah 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 blah. That same old like narrative of like you know you're losing your mind, which I can't give it that much of a hard time because it was 1973. So like you can't like I can't like rag on it too much for like using um a trope which at the time wasn't that new. So like, but like it's just kind of annoying watching that character absolutely refuse to believe anything about like um the idea that something supernatural exists or something like that. Um, he finally does believe when the carpenter finally tells him about the story of people who lived there, who got killed there, and um, these things that were trapped in the fireplace that was bolted up, and that was why he had bolted it up. And the carpenter was the one. I forget if I mentioned that. The carpenter was the one who warned them, um, warned the girl not to open it. But he didn't say why. Yeah, I did mention it. But he didn't say why because I guess if he did say why, then he could have gotten killed by these things because they threatened to kill him when he started telling her about it, and he almost died from that. But yeah, and then the kind of like the climax of the movie happens, and they cut the power to the house. So like actually, the other cool element of this, the reason why it's called "Don't Be Afraid of the Dark," I guess, is because these things hate light. They don't like light. They only lurk in the darkness. So like whenever it's dark, they'll like come out and be like hanging around, um, and just do their own like scary thing. So like she had to like try to keep on light to keep them away, and like she would use like candles and flashlights and whatnot. And like with all that being said, like I thought this movie would have ended better, but it's just kind of a depressing ending that I feel like didn't necessarily like need to happen. But I mean, it didn't really impact the movie that badly, but like shit, like really? So like um towards the end of the movie, it's getting towards the end, and these things tie her up in a rope and capture her as Alex, the girl's the Sally's wife, I mean, Sally's husband, and the carpenter guy. I forget what his fucking name is. God damn it. The carpenter guy come back, but before they knew it, it was too late because she was being dragged away, and she had a camera, and she tried using the flash on it to scare them away, and that seemed to work for a little bit. And I was like, oh, okay, that's gonna work. That's gonna save her. Like, cool. Um, or maybe Alex and the other guy will come back in time and save her. But guess what? They didn't make it in time because this guy who finally starts believing that these things are actually real looks down in the fireplace and sees like, well, it's not really. It's just like a giant pit. When you open this door, so we assume that she got dragged into there. Um, we don't even know because also that's kind of also something that pissed me off about the ending. Like they don't like make it like really specific as to like did she die? Did they like take her in? Did they make her into one of them? Like I don't know. It's kind of like ambiguous, which I don't like. Um, and like it would have been, I mean, like obviously, like it would have been like a really like easy ending just to like have her like use the camera and save herself, and then Alex and the other guy come back and save her. But like at the same time, like if you're gonna have a bad ending like that, at least like show like what happens to her, and don't just show like literally the last shot is just the guy looking in the fireplace wondering where she was, and then she's just like whispering saying something about like you'll join us soon. They'll come out soon. They'll look for us. So like you assume like she joined them, I guess. So it's just weird. It's just weird how it plays out at the end there. But I mean, with all that being said, it was a pretty good scary movie for its time for sure. I discovered this movie because I was at a store called Bull Moose, which is a cool movie store, just looking at different movies, and I just picked this movie out randomly. I was like, okay, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark sounds interesting, and yeah, I checked it out. I mean, it sounded good. I read about it on the back. I was like, that sounds good. So I bought it, and now I watched it. So there you go. It was actually technically it was a TV movie. It was a movie that um, was like it was called the ABC Movie of the Week. That I guess was put out back in 1973. Um, and yeah, it was really good. However, there was one thing that really bothered me production wise. I just think whoever was like helping to make this movie just totally like fucked up because like at one point this girl who's helping out Sally, who's trying to like protect her, gets locked out of her house. She was actually trying to help her, which is also something to note as part of the movie. Like she believed her like what was going on. She was actually someone who believed like, okay, this is what she's telling me. Like, okay, I believe that. And like she was trying to help her, and then she gets locked out of the house. But when she was locked out of the house, you could tell it was daytime in the house, when really it was nighttime with Sally inside, and Alex was, you could see him driving his car to the carpenter's house at night too while she was locked outside. So like, okay, that makes no sense. Like, what are you doing, movie? Like, get your shit together. Like, god damn it. Like that pisses me off that they would do that. Sorry, I just get like annoyed at like when they like make errors like that. But like, I mean, it didn't impact the movie that much, but like damn, like how are you really gonna mess that up? Like filming part of a movie in the daytime, like bruh, what are you doing? Like shit, like okay, like it's all good, I guess, but yeah, either way, yeah. Aside from the movie's weird ending and the guy refusing to believe her, a lot of it, but that's the way movies were back then. That's the way people were back then with that kind of stuff, probably, anyways. But yeah, other than that, it was really good. Like I said, the ending is freaking weird. It's just weird. Like I guess like she was destined to be with them, so like they had to make it so she was killed off or with them or whatever. What do I even call it? I don't know. But yeah, either way, I enjoyed the movie still. Um, I give it like I give it like an 8.1. I was gonna give it a 9.1 when I was like watching it. I was like, wow, this movie's really good. And then the ending happened. I was like, I'll give it an 8.1. So yeah. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the final edition of Horror October. And I can't remember if I said this or not. I have a really bad memory because I haven't gotten a ton of sleep lately. But There's going to be a bonus edition of Horror October, at least one of them, so stay tuned for that. But I'll see you guys tomorrow for the finale of Horror October. See you.